Welcome back to Maintainer's Garage. I'm Bags. Today we're going to be talking about HomeLinks. This is my my 2004 LX470. It lives outside. It barely comes in the garage. It has the HomeLink garage door opener system. And one thing I noticed the day I bought it is it activates the garage door whether you have the key in it or not. Well, I didn't like that. Somebody smashed the window. They had access to my house. And that just didn't make me comfortable. Not long after I bought this, I took this whole panel down and went in here and found an extra plug that had switched 12 volt power. And by switched, I mean when I turned the key on, it got power. So I cut the wire inside of here to the HomeLink that was constant 12 volts and tapped into the switch 12 volts. Why am I showing you this even though I've already done it? Well, a couple more people have asked me over, the past few months, and I was like, hey, I could do a quick little video. And two things are I'm going to show you, how to do this. And it doesn't just apply to a, LX470. It applies to any car with a HomeLink system that activates when the key is in the off position. You have the key in the car, it works. And then also I get to check my work and see if I did a good job. We don't always get to go back in there and look and say, hey, how was the job we do? I'm not looking forward to that. I think I did a good job, but I'm not sure. I have to find out. This whole panel is very simple. Obviously, if you're doing this on a different vehicle, I don't know how that's going to come down. I'm just going to demonstrate on my 2004 LX470 for you. It's kind of simple. You just pop this down and straight up in here is a Phillips head screw. It's not covered up by anything. It's just right there. And once you remove that, then this whole thing kind of slides down. All right, we'll take our handy dandy Phillips head and just go right up in here. This is one of those things that I just thought about, I didn't like, and I wanted to do something about. I believed I could find power up here because I have a sunroof. Sunroof doesn't work when the key's not in the on position, or at least the ACC position, accessory position. So I knew I could at least tap into these. When I found the non-used Canon plug, when I found the non-used plug that had switched 12 volts, it made it really easy and really happy for me. So now we got that screw out. If I remember, yeah, just like that. Of course, I didn't break anything or damage anything. Here you can see that's the wire that I covered that had the constant 12 volt power. I'm trying to figure out a good way to show you this, and this plug you need a flathead screwdriver for, and just push that in, and I think that'll give us, yeah, maybe. We'll undo this one as well. There we go. So there's our HomeLink buttons. So that's the switches right there, little circuit card. There's a ribbon cable that comes up and comes into here. Well, I knew it wasn't this connector. This connector connects right there, and that connects to the car. This connector connects to this big box. And then I had this large connector. So it was a matter of, it was really kind of simple. I unplugged it one connector at a time and hit the buttons until it stopped working. So like if I unplugged this one and it still worked, it was like, okay, that's not it, connect that one back. When I unplugged this connector is when I found the HomeLink stopped working. So I knew HomeLink got its power from here. So then I didn't have to need this anymore because I figured out this is the connector. So now in the car, and you could see that the cap that I put on that constant 12 volt wire still on there. That was a good job. And then this is the connector, the spare connector that I found up here. And I just checked again, I just happened to see it. I was like, oh, let me pull this down. I took a meter with the car off, hit every pin, didn't find power. Turned the car on, found a pin with power, turned the car off again, verified that. And it is the gray wire out of this plug, if you care, on the Lexus. And then you can see my little waterproof splice. My tape hadn't held up great, but under this tape is a waterproof splice, and that's holding up okay. So then I found the power wire, the constant power wire out of this. It only had one. That made my job very simple. Made it very easy. I cut that wire, spliced in a section of wire into this. Then it was a matter of testing it. Tested it, it worked. And sorry, I had to change the frame a little bit to make sure I could get all this in. That's how this works. Anytime you're doing something, and I don't want to call it experimental, but I didn't know exactly what I was going to find up here. I knew I was going to find a mess of stuff, but I didn't have a wiring diagram to say, oh, this plug goes to this plug, this goes to this does this. It was trial and error. And some of this was luck. I'm lucky that there was only one constant 12-volt power on that particular Canon plug. I could have, found it on this plug or this plug and, screwed this all up royally, and I would have had to fix it. And that's part of the deal. When I say part of the deal, when you start messing with your car and modifying your car and working on your car, inevitably, you're going to break something that you don't want to. You're going to mess up something you don't mean to. And you're just going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to fix it. You're going to have to move forward and, keep on keeping on. So that's why I just want to take this little second to talk about that. And then getting all this back together is kind of easy. We can just tuck our plug that's not used back up there. We can get our thin one there, and it doesn't want to stay up there. We'll put our modified plug that we spliced back where it belongs. And we'll put our big connector back down there. And then this thing just line up to those and push. And make sure you hear 4 distinct snaps or clicks, what have you. And then we get our handy dandy Phillips head screw and drop it. Thank God it didn't go in between the seat, and we're going to do a lot better to make sure that doesn't go there. Tighten that down, and we're done. I didn't like the fact that somebody would be able to get into my garage and thus my house, with just smashing a window and pushing a button. So it bothered me, so I fixed it. Thanks for watching Maintainer's Garage. Have a great day.